All right, let's talk about a feeling. A feeling so common in our always-on world that, yep, it's officially in the dictionary. It's that little pang of anxiety you get when you're scrolling on your phone. We're talking about the fear of missing out, or, as we all know it, FOMO.
You know exactly the scene I'm talking about. It's late, you're in bed, and the only light in the room is from your phone. And you're just scrolling through this endless highlight reel of everyone else's life. They're your friends at a party you couldn't get to, a colleague on some breathtaking beach, someone you went to high school with just announced a massive promotion. It's just perfection, curated and delivered right to you. And as you keep scrolling, this little question starts to creep in, right? At first it's quiet, but it gets louder and louder. Why does it feel like everyone else is living a bigger, better, more exciting life? Why does what they're doing suddenly feel so much more important than what you're doing? Well, that feeling, it has a name. So let's get right into it. What exactly is the fear of missing out when we get down to it?
Okay, so the official definition from the Psychiatric Times is a pervasive apprehension that others might be having rewarding experiences from which one is absent. A bit academic, right? Let's break that down. It's not just being jealous. It's a very specific kind of anxiety. It's the fear that you're being excluded, or that you're falling behind, or that you made the wrong choice about how to spend your time. It's that gut feeling that the real party is happening somewhere else and you're not on the list.
Now, it's super easy to just point the finger at Instagram or TikTok and call it a day. But the research actually shows that this feeling is way more complex. It's not just about what you're seeing online. So check this out. A fascinating study in the journal PLOS ONE actually found that there are 3 different kinds of FOMO. First, there's the purely online version, the fear of missing a meme or a viral trend. Then there's the classic we all know, missing a real-life thing, but social media rubs salt in the wound, like seeing those party pics. But here's the real kicker. There's a third type that has nothing to do with social media. It's tied to things like work opportunities or even consumer choices, which means FOMO was a thing long before we ever had smartphones.
And this quote from that study, it just perfectly captures that online pressure. It's not about the post itself, is it? It's the fear that if you're not in on the joke, you'll be left out of the conversation entirely. You'll lose that connection. The fear isn't about the info, it's about what it represents, belonging.
And this one, wow, it just nails that second category. You miss a party and you're maybe a little bummed out. It's a small feeling. But then you see the pictures, and suddenly that little feeling gets cranked up to 11. Social media is like a megaphone for your absence. It confirms and just intensifies that feeling of being left out.
Okay, so we've got a handle on what FOMO is and the different ways it shows up. But now we're going to go deeper. Because what if this anxiety isn't really about missing a vacation? What if it's a signpost pointing to something way more fundamental about being human?
Let's just reframe the question. Think about it. When you feel that pang of FOMO, are you really that upset about that specific event? Or is that event just triggering a deeper, scarier fear? The fear that maybe you're not on the right path, that there's a better version of your life out there and someone else is living it right now.
And this is where we get to the absolute heart of it. FOMO is a social fear. It's about what other people are doing. But there's this other, much deeper concept called existential guilt. And this has nothing to do with other people. This is all about you. It's about being accountable to yourself for all the potential versions of you that you're not becoming.
Now, the word guilt sounds bad, but stick with me. This has nothing to do with doing something wrong. It's just an unavoidable part of being human. Think about it. You have all this potential, but you only have one finite life. You can't be a doctor and a professional musician and a world traveler all at once. So this quiet guilt comes from the simple hard fact that in choosing one life, you are, by definition, choosing not to live countless others. Social media just serves you a constant stream of those other lives, making you feel like you're failing.
The cultural anthropologist Ernest Becker put it perfectly. He said, "This guilt results from unused life, from the unlived in us." Think of it like this. FOMO is the itchy, noisy symptom on the surface, but existential guilt, that's the deep, quiet source. It's the call of all the lives you could be living.
So, if we know the root cause, what do we do about it? Are we just stuck with this feeling? Not at all. The solution is actually about flipping the entire script. It's about turning the fear of missing out into the joy of missing out. JOMO, the joy of missing out. This is the antidote. And look, this isn't about just burying your head in the sand and ignoring the world. It's an active, intentional choice. It's the decision to be present and find contentment in the path you're on, in the life you are actually living, instead of being anxious about all the infinite lives you're not.
And you can actually practice this. There's real science here. Get this. Research found a ridiculously simple strategy, limiting social media use to just 30 minutes a day. That's it, 30 minutes, was shown to significantly reduce FOMO and anxiety. Just half an hour a day.
So making that shift really comes down to 4 key steps. First, like we just said, limit your exposure. Set a timer. Second, clean your feed. If an account makes you feel bad about yourself, just unfollow. Curate your digital world so it inspires you. Third, prioritize real, in-person connection. It is the ultimate cure. And finally, number 4, practice gratitude. Shift your focus from what you don't have to what you do.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important insight of all. The ultimate way to conquer the fear of missing out is to completely reframe what missing out actually means.
Life is just a series of choices, and the very nature of making a choice is that you have to say no to some things to say yes to another. Choosing to stay in and read means you're not going to the party. Choosing one career means you're not choosing another. So missing out isn't a failure. It's just an essential, unavoidable part of a meaningful life.
You cannot live every possible life. And yeah, that's the source of that existential guilt. But you know what else it is? It's the source of freedom. Your choices are what define your path. They're what give it meaning. So the question to leave you with isn't, what am I missing out on? The real question is this: knowing you can't live every life, what life will you choose to live fully?